we're going to learn about a demographic of persons who we call at this channel the Vitches of Eastwick. The Vitches of Eastwick, baby. Now, that does not represent all female murderers out there, all female killers. That is to represent those out there who are female killers that reach new heights and levels of dumbness. And in this episode, we're going to look at 3. Yep, 3 really dopey witches. Each one of them had a plan. What kind of plan? You know, a J for Genius plan. And each one of these DCs had a story to tell, and the genius of the brains to back both them up. Yep, DCs. Each one of them kind of different in their own special, unique kind of way. So, let's go meet our new DCs. First up on the choppers, this DC. Its name is... It's almost Halloween. Kids, if you answer the door and it looks like this, close the door and run. So, let's go see the deeds of which this dopey witch did. Let us get back to 2016 in Maricopa, and that is in Arizona, good old US of A. It was back then in 2016 with a really nice guy, a really nice guy called Michael Agiter, who was 31 years old, made an insanely bad decision, and that was he shacked up with our DC. They even got pregnant. Now, before that baby was born, Michael figured out that the chick he was seeing, this DC, that he figured out that she was a bitch of Eastwick. Like, even the courts had figured out that this chick was a saint. Because that guy, that good guy Michael, he had to take a restraining order on this DC. Now, you don't hear about those that often, but when those things are taken out, they're usually taken out for quite good measure. The bitch is, she's DC. She didn't keep to it. Now, what had been happening in 2016 is that this DC was trying to depose Michael from being the father of the baby. And Michael was afraid for the baby because he had figured out that she was a bitch of Eastwick. So what Michael did was he set up a paternity test of which he was going to do the legal thing and prove that he was the father of the baby, as he believed he was. But our DC, she didn't want that. She didn't want that at all. So she came up with her J for Genius plan. And this is how it went. On the day that Michael was going to have the paternity test, on that day he was driving back out of the city to his house, and then he was going to go have a paternity test. So our DC knew that. So she thought, that's the time I'm going to kill him. And to do that, she was going to drive there. But she wasn't going to drive there in her car. She had seen enough TV to know that's probably not a good idea. So what she did was, she went to work and she stole her mate's van while she was at work, and then drove down to Michael's place and just waited up for him to get home. So he gets home and she runs across the road. That's her there. That goes up to him while he's in his car, while he's on the phone, and then uses her gun to shoot him 3 times and cold-bloodedly murder him. And she ran back to her mate's stolen car and drove back to work. Parked up and snuck back into work like she was never gone. That's her plan. Lucky no one saw her. There was no eyewitnesses, so she might have gotten away with it. Genius. Just fucking genius, bro. So, the cops get the security footage that we've just watched, and they track down the van, and what do you know? Comes back to this chick that works at this factory in the daytime, so they give her a call, and this is them talking to her.
We did license plate reader checks, got a hit on your van. How come your van was seen in Maricopa?
I don't go to Maricopa. I have no reason to go to Maricopa.
I hate to say it, but you don't accidentally end up in Maricopa by going to Tucson.
Let her know that they think it's her mate that stole her van, because after finding out she works at her work and that the people that work at that work, one of them had a restraining order against them for Mike, the cops know that it must be that our DC. And because of the CCTV security footage, the cops also know that at the work she was having lunch at the time by herself when DC had taken the van. You gotta love DCs that think, oh well, no one will notice, no eyewitnesses, just genius.
Was it common for Kathryn to borrow your vehicle without your permission?
No.
Okay. On the day of the incident, did you drive her to work? Did you guys carpool?
No.
Okay. But how about on the day of the 16th, that Friday? Because you went and got lunch.
Yeah, I went and got lunch myself and asked her if she wanted to come. She said she wasn't up to it. She had brought her lunch. So I just went by myself.
And now the cops go get our dopey witch and they bring her down to the station under armed escort. And the thing is that this thing is that dopey that she hasn't even thought of being caught. Like, she thought that plan was perfect, so there was no need to come up with some kind of explanation about anything because she just thought that she would never be caught on that plan. On that plan. And now you understand, you see, it's a different level that these DCs operate on. They are truly a unique being in our DC universe. So now let's go listen to her, not have her story one, it's gold. So now, let's go listen to Dopey Witch number 1. It's really hard to understand this chick in this interrogation it drones on, so I will cut it up and make it clear and get straight to the question on lunch.
Did you have a lunch break?
Oh, DC, you are screwed.
No lunch break? I look through my lunches almost every day.
Oh, DC, you are screwed. Golday, this DC, this genius of a murderer, thinks that the cops have got nothing on her and that she's got nothing to worry about and to play dumb, but don't take it for granted because she really is that dumb. And the cop's about to inform her that her J for Genius plan was watched by them on CCTV, and that's when our genius realizes the game is up.
But unfortunately, there was a homicide in our town. And unfortunately, we have video, what appears to be you at the scene of that homicide.
Alright, well then, I don't know what else to tell you.
It's gold, eh? She has no story.
Okay, do you even want to know who was killed today?
What a strange chick, eh? And poor young Michael found that out too late.
Not really. Lawyer.
What does that mean?
Give me a lawyer.
Give you a lawyer?
Yeah, I don't want to speak to you guys anymore.
And that's the end of the dumbness of this chick. So, how did it all end up? Well, old Genius here, our dopey fucking witch, she pled not guilty. Good, but of course she did. She's a DC, and typically that's what DCs do. So, she was found guilty and given life without parole, which is just perfect. No more being a dumb witch out in public. All behind bars now, baby. And that brings us to the conclusion of this chapter, and no, actually I won't use chapter, but this section of this episode in regards to this dopey witch. Hey, thanks for watching to the end, guys. That's awesome. Remember to please subscribe to this channel, and I'll leave some links below and in the comment section where you can take a look around the DC universe and the Project Safe Paths, which is the reason why we're here. As we are so much more than a crime channel on YouTube. We, and that means all of my subscribers to this channel and to the main DC, we're all in a project. A really, really big one. So take a look around and you'll see what I mean. Stay safe.